ACS Primary 2023 P6 Prelim paper. This is for paper 2, so calculators are allowed for this paper. Now let's look at question 1. The cost of 3 chairs and 5 tables is $360. The cost of 6 chairs and 15 tables is $900. So what is the cost of 1 table? Round your answer off to the nearest $10. Okay, so first, let's write down what information is given in the question. 3 chairs plus 5 tables is $360. Then 6 chairs plus 15 tables gives us $900. So we're supposed to find the cost of 1 table. Now, I'm going to make the number of chairs the same. So I have 3 chairs and I have 6 chairs. Common multiple, 6. So this whole thing, I'm going to multiply by 2. So what we end up with is 6 chairs plus 10 tables. You get 360 times 2, which is 720. Next, let's compare 6 chairs, 15 tables, and 6 chairs, 10 tables. The difference is 5 tables. So I'll find the difference, which is 180. Now, what is the cost of 1 table? So 1 table will be 180 divided by 5. And this will give us $36. But they say round it off to the nearest $10. So this will be $40. Okay, so answer is $40. Question 2. ABCD is a rhombus, angle BAC is 51 degrees. What is the sum of angle X and Y? So for rhombus, please take note that you have equal sides, and that means that we have isosceles triangles. Let's see if that's useful to what we are finding. Okay, so remember there's also parallel lines for rhombus. So parallel lines are very useful because you can apply a few different angle properties. So the first one is X. Look at angle X. Now, if this one is parallel to this line, AB and AD, right? You have alternate angles, which is like the Z one. Okay, so here, this way. So angle X is actually 51 degrees without any calculations. Okay, now because you have isosceles triangle, right? So this must also be 51 degrees. There's a few ways to get Y, but I'm going to use, okay, we have another alternate angle here, right? Because this one is parallel. You may have seen it in a different way, but this is how I do it. So this is alternate angles as well. So this is 51. To find angle Y, I'll use sum of angles in a triangle. Okay, so 180 minus 51 minus 51. 78. So this is 78, but I don't want the X and Y separately. I want the sum. So you add them up. So 51 for X and 78 for Y. Some other ways that you could do, actually the fastest way would be this. This angle here and this angle here is actually, they add up to 180, right? So if they add up to 180, technically you can just take 180 minus this. And because this is isosceles, so this is 51, this is 51. So 180 minus 51, you'll get the sum of X and Y. Okay, so that way also works. Or you can also say like interior angles for this and this. So to find angle Y is 180 minus 51 minus 51, these two. to find y. And then you add x. So all those ways are possible as long as you get 129 for the sum. Question 3, graph question. A tank contains 6 liters of water. The graph below shows the amount of water left in a tank at the end of each day. What is the total amount of water used on day 2 and day 4? Okay, so let's find out for each day. Because initially there's 6 liters, total 6 liters, but after day 1, this is the amount left. After day 2, and so on. Okay, so they didn't tell us how much was being used. They tell us how much is left in the tank. Okay, so for day 1, how much is left? We have 5. This is 5. So 5 liters. Day 2, take note there are 10 intervals between 0 to 2. So each interval is 0.2. Not 0.1, but 0.2. Okay, so 4.2. Day 3, 2.8. Then day 4 is 1.2. How do we find how much is being used on day 2? It is not 4.2 liters. 4.2 is the amount left. So from day 1, you had 5 liters and then it went down to 4.2. So how much is being used on day 2? We'll have to find the difference. So 5 liters minus 4.2 liters. This will give us 0.8 liters. That's for day 2. Now, the other one we want to find is the amount used on day 4. So for day 4, we have to look at day 3. From day 3 down to day 4, what was the decrease? So we have 2.8 liters minus 1.2 liters. This is 1.6 liters being used. So the total amount for those 2 days will be 0.8 plus 1.6. which is 2.4 liters. Okay, so answer 2.4. Question 4. Mrs. Lin bought a watch at a discount of 15% and she paid $124.10, not including GST. What is the original price of the watch, including 8% GST? So basically what she paid does not include GST, so we ignore the GST first. If there's a discount of 15%, how many percent will she be paying? So 100 minus 15. Which is 85%. So this 85% of original is 124.10. Now, how do we find the original price? So 100% of original. So basically the original price. So what I'll do is I'll take 124.10. You want to find 1% first. So I'm actually skipping that one line. Instead of dividing by 85 and finding what is that, I will just take this and divide by 85 over here. Okay, so this is my 1%. I want to find 100%, so I times 100. This will give us 146. So this is original price, no discount. So they're asking you, what's the original price, including 8% GST? So now this amount is before GST. So assuming no discount, okay? So this is before GST. With GST, how much does she have to pay? So 146 is 100%. So 146. Again, I'll define 1%, so divide by 100 straight away. Then times 108. Not 8%, but 108. You want to find the price that you have to pay including GST, not just the GST itself. So 157.68. Question number 5. Mrs. Sim bought a bag for $140. She paid the cashier $10 and $5 notes. If there were 15 notes altogether, how many $10 notes were there? So for this question, we're using either, we're using the supposition/assumption method. Okay, supposition and assumption means the same thing. So let's look at that. Suppose all are, if you are finding $10 notes, right, start off with $5 notes. So suppose all are $5 notes. If all the notes are $5, how much would you actually get? There are 15 notes. So the total amount of money will be 15 times of $5, which is $75. Then next, but actually she only spent, she spent $140. What we have here is definitely not enough. So the extra that I will need will be the difference of 140 and 75, which is $65. Now, because if I assume all of them are $5 notes, I only get $75, right? But the amount that she needs is 140. So I need extra $65. So I'm sure that not all the notes are $5 notes. So I'm going to do this exchange, okay? I'm going to exchange each $5 note to for a $10 note. So every exchange, what is this extra that I'm getting? So it's actually the difference between 10 and 5. I get extra $5, okay? So when I exchange one $5 note for a $10 note, I get extra $5. How many times must I do this? Remember, the extra that I need is $65. So the number of exchanges will be 65 divided by 5. 13. Okay, I'm doing this exchange 13 times. From what to what? From the $5 notes to $10 notes. So in other words, I'm actually putting in 13 $10 notes. How many $10 notes were there? 13 $10 notes. Question 6. Figure below is formed by joining 5 identical 3/4 circle discs. Point A, point B, C, D, and E are centers of each of the 3/4 circle discs. Given that the distance between B and D is 17 cm and the distance between the first and the last disc is 48 cm, find the length of AB. All right, so first let's find what is the distance from A to E. A to E, right, is basically the same as A to C plus C to E, right? So the reason why I want to find that is when I take 48 minus A to E, I'm left with the radiuses of this part here and this part here. So basically the diameter of one circle. Okay, so A to C is the same as C to E, and it is also the same as B to D. Okay, so the distance between B and D is the same as A and C. So A to E is 17 times 2, 34. So A to C is 17, C to E is 17, so 17 times 2. Okay, now I will take 48 minus away 34, and I end up with 2 radiuses, which is also the diameter. So 48 minus 34, which is 14. Then I'll take 14, divide by 2, which is 7. Okay, so here this is 7. I need to find the length of AB. Now, this is 7. This is 7 cm. So what you need to find is this portion here. Okay, to find here is actually 7 cm minus 2 cm. So 7 minus 2, which is 5. So this part here is 5 cm. So what is AB? AB is 7 plus 5. Answer 12 cm. Okay, so don't forget to write your units. This is 12 cm. Question 7, pie chart. So Serena has a monthly salary of 8650. She spent 1/5 of her money on food. So this pie chart shows how she used her monthly salary. How much did she spend on the food? Is 1/5 of 8650. So we can just take 8650 divide by 5 or times 1/5. So answer $1,730. B, what fraction of her salary did she spend on rent and transport? Rent and transport. Okay, so the total amount that she spent, right, you can just add them up before we find the fraction. So 2422 plus 865, which is 3287. So what fraction of the total? The total is 8650, so you just need to take 3287 over 8650. Simplify, you get 19 over 50. What percentage did she spend on shopping? Okay, let's find the amount spent on shopping. You're supposed to give your answer to the nearest 1%. So to find shopping, we'll use the total and take away everything else. Okay, rent and transport we have added up earlier, right? So you just minus 3287. Then minus the food, which is 1730 from part A. And then minus savings, which is 3000. You'll end off with $633. So what percentage is this? 633 over the total, which is 8650, then times 100%. Okay, key in the calculator, you should get like 7.32%. Round it off to the nearest 1%, so 7% is the answer. It's not round off to the nearest 1 decimal place, okay? The nearest 1%. So don't even have decimal place. Okay, question 8. Figure is not drawn to scale. We have a parallelogram A, B, E, F, and B, C, D, E. Okay, so whenever they say parallelogram or trapezium, you need to understand what it means. It means that you have parallel lines, and they have all been marked out for you. So okay, then BE parallel to CD. Okay, AB parallel to FD. So FD is a straight line. BC and AB. Okay. Then we have 42 degrees, 68 degrees. Find angle BCD. This angle over here. Okay, how can we find angle BCD? Now, first, 100 angle BCD is 180 minus this. Okay, 180 minus this, and okay, hold on, let me highlight. Or maybe we can use this. Wait. This one, you have a Z, alternate angles. So this one is 68 degrees also. So to find BCD, you can use interior angle. So basically these two angles add up to 180. Okay, these two add up to 180. So, or you can say that this is 68, this is 68. So this opposite is also 68. So interior angles as well, 180 minus 68. So answer 112 degrees. Next, find ABE. ABE. This angle here. Okay, so to find angle ABE, what we can do is we can find ABE. You need this, no. Okay, there's another pair of parallel lines, right? Which is like here, oops. Here, here. So basically this angle here is 42. So in order to find ABE, you can use interior angles. These angles plus this one here adds up to 180. So use 180 minus 68 and 42. So answer 70 for this. And this is 112. Okay, last part, BEF. BEF. Now, if this is a parallelogram, right? Opposite angles in a parallelogram are the same. So this angle here is actually the same as BAF. So 42 plus 68. (110 degrees). Alternatively, this angle here is also the same as this angle here, corresponding angles, because of these two parallel lines. So 68 plus 42 as well. Okay, if you're looking at this angle. Question 9, speed question. The distance between town A and B is 1260 km. Train X travels from A to B at 8 a.m. at an average speed of 230 km per hour. At the same time, train Y travels from B to A at an average speed of 190 km per hour. Okay, so this is town A, town B. Train X travels this direction, okay, at 230 km per hour. X is faster than Y. So Y is 190 km per hour in this direction, and they will meet along the way. What time did they meet? This whole distance is 1260 km. Now, if you look at 1260 km, right, is that the total or is that the difference? That is the total that both X and Y is going to travel by the time they meet. Okay, X is going to cover this much. Y is going to cover this much. So that distance plus this distance here will give us 1260. So 1260 is the total distance that they can cover in a certain amount of time. Okay, so let's find the total. Now in 1 hour, X can cover 230 km. Y can cover 190 km in 1 hour. So in 1 hour, if they were to travel together towards each other, the total distance that they are going to cover in 1 hour will be 230 plus 190, which is 420. Okay, so 420 is the total that they can cover in 1 hour, but the total distance that they are supposed to cover is 1260. So how long will it take? So the time taken will be this total distance of 1260 divided by what they can cover in just 1 hour, and this will give us 3 hours. So starting at 8 a.m. 3 hours later is 11 a.m. So answer 11 a.m. So how far would each train have traveled when they meet along the way? So 3 hours for X is how much distance? 3 hours for Y is how much distance? So 3 times 230 for X. Then 3 times 190 for Y. So these are the distances traveled by each train. So train Y is 690 km. Write the correct units. Then train Y is 570 km. Question 10. Following table shows the charges for making an overseas call to Australia. So in the first 15 minutes is 260. Every additional minute is P cents per minute. Now, Mrs. James paid $32 for a phone call to her sister in Australia. What was the duration of the call? Leave your answer in terms of P. Now, okay, let's find out what is the remaining time after taking away 15 minutes. Okay, we know that it's definitely more than 15 minutes because it's the amount she paid is more than 260. So let's take away 260 first. So don't forget there is a 15 minutes that we are ignoring for now. Okay, we are taking it away for now. So you're left with 29.40, which she's paying at this rate, P cents per minute. Now this is dollars, this is cents. Be careful when you have that. You have to use the same units to solve. So we're going to change this dollars to cents. It's easier to change that to cents than to change this P cents to dollars. So in terms of cents, this is 2,940 cents. Okay, we're going to take this amount and divide by P cents. That will give us the number of minutes, the number of additional minutes that she took. So divide by P is over P. Remember, we took away the 15 minutes first, right? So the total time that she's going to take, you have to add back the 15 minutes. So what was the duration of the call? It's 2940 over P plus 15. Use brackets, bracket this whole thing, minutes. Next question. Sorry, next part, given that P is 60, find the duration of the call. Okay, so what we have here, you just need to put in P as 60. So 2940 over 60 plus 15. 2940 divided by 60 is 49. So 49 plus 15 is 64. So answer 64 minutes. Question 11. Bottles A, B, C contain 7.35 liters of oil altogether. 1/5 of the oil in A is transferred to B. After that, 1/5 of the oil in B is transferred to C. Now, A has twice the amount of B and B has twice the amount of C. So how much was being transferred from A to B? Okay, all these are all internal transfer, right? So this method that I'm going to use, you can use it when there's a lot of internal transfers, and you also know the total, which we do, right? In this question is 7.35. Now, because these are all internal transfer, the total will remain the same. So I'm going to do this. A, B, and C at first. Now there is a change, 1/5 of A is transferred to B. So A minus 1/5, and you have to write A here, because this 1/5 came from A. Transferred to B, so plus, and it has to be the same alphabet, so A. Okay, because the 1/5 came from A, it is 1/5, it is describing a proportion of A. That's the first transfer. The second transfer is from B to C. So this time, this 1/5 is referring to the proportion of B. So both has to be 1/5 B. All right, so total will always be 7.35. Now A has twice of B, B has twice of C. So that's to describe in the end, we need to figure out how is this 7.35 being distributed. Not equally, but let's draw a quick model. A is twice of B. And B is twice of C. So this is what the model will look like. And the total here is 7.35. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 units. 7.35. One unit is 1.05. Now let's find each of them. So 1 unit is 1.05, which is C. Then for B, which is 2 units, 2.1. 2.1. So for A, you can find 4 units, or double of 2.1. So 2.1 times 2. 4.2. Now we're going to work backwards. Part A is asking for the amount of oil transferred from A to B. So actually this change here, what is this change here? Okay, let's work backwards. 4.2, no change here, so it will remain as 4.2. Now when we go backwards, right, should we use 2.1 or 1.05 to work with? If they say that the change is a B, right, that's why this letter matters, okay? If the change before that is from B, then we use B to work backwards with, okay? So what's B, what's the fraction left for B? If you're taking away 1/5 means that this 2.1 is actually 4/5 of B. So 4/5 of B is 2.1. So 1/5 of B, 2.1 divided by 4. Okay, maybe just find B straight away, like 5/5 of B straight away. So 2.1 divided by 4, and then B times 5, which is 2.625. Here, no space, so 2.625. Now, okay, let's not find C first, because they're asking how much oil was transferred from A to B, right? So actually we can already work backwards. We can use A, because here the change over here is talking about A, right? So let's use A. This is actually 4/5 of A. So 4/5 of A is 4.2. We want to find this amount transferred. So actually we're finding 1/5 of A. So 1/5 of A is 4.2 divided by 4. 1.05. So answer 1.05 liters. Part B, how much was in C at first? Oh, okay. So C at first is actually the same as this one here. So to find this one, we'll take this total. 7.35 minus A minus B. 7.35 minus 4.2 minus 2.625, which is 0.525 liters. Okay, so this is 0.525, but because there's no change over here, so C at first is 0.525. Okay, question 12. Marcus is playing a video game on the first win. On his first win, he obtains 3 points. For every subsequent win, he gets 2 additional from his previous win. So he gets 6 wins in a row. What's the score for the 6th win? So first is 3 points, right? Then the second, he gets additional 2, 3 plus 2. And then the third, at 2, and so on and so forth. 5th, 6th. Okay, so 6 is the one. You could do this, or you can take interval. So okay, or you continue with this, or we use interval concept where you have 6 wins. How many intervals are there? So every increase in 1 win is an increase of 2, right? Additional 2. So the 6 win, how many increase in the wins? The wins are there, so 6 minus 1, like the number of intervals lah. Every interval is 2. You add 2, keep adding 2. So 5 intervals means we'll take 2 times 5, which is 10. Then add back the very first win. The very first win is 3 points. So 10 plus 3, which is 13. Okay, so left side, you also get 13. This method also get 13. So of course, if they're asking for a very big number here, then it's better to use this method instead of listing down all the way. Okay, for part B, how many times must you win? to get 99 points. Okay, for this, you have to use the interval method. So you take 99, minus off the first win, which is 3, you get 96. So the number of intervals will be 96 divided by, every interval is an increment of 2 points. So divide by 2, which is 48 intervals. Number of times you win, it's +1. Okay, so answer 49 times. Question 13. Now, question 13, there might be an error in this question here because according to the answer key, the answer is 200, but it's not possible that the shaded part is 200 because 200 is basically half of this square. This is 20. 20 times 10 is half of the square. That's 200. The answer key says 200, so there could be some areas that are not shaded as shown here because of the printing or the scanning. So we are not able to determine if we think that there's actually more parts that are shaded. So for this, it's not possible to find if it's just like that here. Okay, and the answer wouldn't be 200 if that's the case. So for this question, we will skip due to a lack of information. So let's look at question 14. Container shown is made up of 2 cuboids and a 6 cm cube. So this is a cube, this is a cuboid, cuboid. Small cuboid, which is the top one, has a square base of 3 cm. The dimension of the big cuboid is 16 by 9 by 5. There is 864 ml of water in the container, and the height of the water level in the small cuboid and cube is the same. What is the height of water level from the base of the container? So basically, water is being filled up. This odd-looking container contains water and is being filled up, not all the way, but definitely above the bottom cuboid and also partially of the top cube and cuboid. Okay, so since water has filled up the whole of the bottom cuboid, let's find the volume of the bottom cuboid first. So that's the large cuboid. Length times breadth times height, 720. So 720 ml. The total volume is 864. So let's find what is the leftover amount that is filling up the top parts. Okay, so 144 is the area of, the volume of water inside this cube and cuboid. Let's find the combined base area. Okay, because volume divided by the base area can give us the height. So the combined base area is cube is 6 times 6, right? Base area. And this is also a square. So 3 times 3, which is 45. So the base area here and here is 45. How do you find the height? Take volume. Okay, so the height above large cuboid will be volume divided by the base area, 3.2. So this total height where the water is filling up is 5 cm plus 3.2. Okay, so 5 plus 3.2. 8.2 cm is the height of the water level. Question 15. Simon, Mark, and Wilson sat for the math exam. The average score of Simon and Mark was 45. Average of Mark and Wilson was 91. Average of Simon and Wilson was 82. What was the average mark of the three boys? Okay, so you have different combinations of two people each time, right? So let's find S and M first. S, Simon and Mark, like the total. So 85 times 2, because 85 is the average. Then the next one is Mark and Wilson. 91 times 2, 182. And Simon and Wilson. So the three possible combinations we have. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add all of these up, and you'll end up with 2 of S, 2 of M, 2 of W. This will be 516. To find the total of the three boys, we'll take this 516 and divide by 2. Because now we have 2 each and we only want 1 each. 1 each is divide 516 by 2. So you get 258. This is the total of all three boys. You want to find the average. So you take this total and divide by 3. So the average of their scores will be 86. Part B, Simon's mark was recorded incorrectly. He was given an additional of 7.5 marks. What is the correct average of the three boys? So to find out the new average, you have to work with the total. So this total is 258 originally, but then actually he was given extra points, right? So the total should have been lesser. So this total is 258 minus 7.5. 250.5. Then you use that to calculate the new average. So divide by 3. So take note, you cannot use the average and minus off 7.5. Okay, it doesn't work that way. You have to use the total to minus off. Then calculate the new average. So the new average is 83.5. Question 16. Not drawn to scale. ABE is an equilateral triangle. Equilateral, all the sides are the same. And then you have 60 degrees in each of them. BCD is an isosceles. Okay, isosceles, mark out equal lines. A, B, C, and B, D, F are straight lines. And then you have parallel lines, A, C, and E, F. A, C, and E, F. Okay, it's marked out. Then you have 90 degrees, EBD. EBD, 90. Okay. And then 43 degrees here. Okay, find CBF. CBF. Now remember, no. What other, okay, let's mark out all the 60 first. All right, so actually CBF here, right, this angle here is actually using angles on a straight line. You can find that 180 minus 60 and 90. So you get 30 degrees. Next, okay, let's write down 30 degrees. How do we find BDC? Isosceles triangle, so 180 minus 30, then divide by 2. This will give us 75 degrees. Next, find EDF. Okay, so to find angle EDF, right? Since this is a straight line, what I'll do is I will find this angle here, BDE, and then 180 minus that. Okay, so how to find BDE? To find BDE, use this triangle here. Triangles, sum of angles in a triangle add up to 180. So 180 minus 90 minus 43. That is to find angle BDE. So 47 degrees is here. Then angles on a straight line. We can't assume that this is a straight line. The question has to state which the question did, BDF. Okay, otherwise you cannot apply this. So BDF is a straight line, so 180 minus 47. (133 degrees). Okay, last question here. A box contains some 20 cents, 50 cent, and $1 coins. 24% of the coins are 20-cent coins. Ratio of the number of 50-cent coins to the number of $1 coins is 7 to 12. When 62.5% of the 20-cent coins were removed, the total number of coins decreased by 15%. In the end, there were 255 coins left. So how many 20-cent coins were removed? Now for this question, there's a lot of percentage. And as you know, percentage is used to describe or used to compare different things, right? Sometimes it's comparison, sometimes it's just a proportion of a total. So what we do is to avoid confusion, we're going to change it to ratio. So first, 24% of them are 20-cent coins. Let's write down the ratio for that. What does it mean? It means that the 20-cent coins is 24%. The rest of them will be under 50-cent coins plus $1 coin. Okay, so 24 to 76. Simplify this, 6 to 19. Okay, this is the first ratio we have out of the 24%. Next, we also have the ratio of 50-cent coins to $1 coin. Which is 7 to 12. Now, ratio, you need to find common base. So the common base is actually the total of 50 cents and $1 coin. So over here, I need the total. Please don't write total, but write 50 cent plus $1, because total assumes that it includes 20 cents, but over here it doesn't. So, okay, done. 19 units is the common base. Then let's go back to the question. When 62.5% of the 20-cent coins were removed, total number of coins decreased by 15%. In the end, there were 255 coins. Now, this 255 coins left, right, is talking about the total left. The total dropped by 15%. So this one is 100% minus 15%, which is 85%. Okay, so 85% of the total is actually 255. So what am I trying to do for this? I'm trying to find the total at first so that I can use my ratio here. Okay, so when I can use my ratio here, I can find how many 20-cent coins are there. Then I can also find what is the decrease in the 20-cent coins. So to find total at first. So to find total at first, I'm actually finding 100%. Okay, so I'm going to do it in one step. 255, to find 1%, I divide by 85. Find 100%, total at first, times 100. This will give us 300. So the total at first is 300. I can now use this ratio for my total at first, for this 300. So 300 is how many units? 300 is this combined, 25 units. One unit is 12. Then 6 units, the 20-cent coins at first. So 20-cent coins at first. 6 times 12, 72. So how many were there? How many were removed? How many 20-cent coins were removed? 62.5% of that. That's fine. Times 72, which is 45. Okay. Actually, there might have been an easier way. Okay, when they say that the 20-cent coins were removed, right? Actually, when the total number of coins decreased by 15%, and this is 85%, we actually technically just have to find 15%. So from here, from this step, okay, this is an alternative method. You want to find 15% of total, which is basically the decrease, right? So 255 divided by 85 times 15. This will also give us 45. Because the total decreased by 15%, that's 45. And that decrease is only due to 20-cent coins. So this could have been a faster method to find the answer, 45. So now this 45 is actually 62.5% of the 20-cent coins, and you can use that for part B. Okay, otherwise, the method in red, let's continue. How many $1 coins were there in the box? How many $1 coins? $1 coins is 12 units. 1 unit is 12, right? So 12 units is 12 times 12. Okay, so you either do a longer method for A to get 1 unit first, or you do a slightly longer method for B. Either way is fine. So using this method in blue, 45 is 62.5% of the 20-cent coins. Then you you divide by 62.5% times 100% to get all your 20-cent coins, and that will be 6 units. Then you find 1 unit and you find 12 units. Okay, that's the one in blue, the method for blue. Okay, so either way, you will get the answer 144 also. All right, so that is the end of this paper. This is ACS 2023 Prelim Paper 2.